We live in a world filled with conflict, arguments, misunderstandings, power struggles, and emotional tensions, whether in our personal relationships, work environments, or even in the digital realm. Conflict is inevitable, but how we handle conflict determines not only the outcome, but also our own inner peace and emotional well-being. The true strength in conflict is not in winning the argument, but in maintaining emotional control, staying centered, and navigating the situation with wisdom. In this video, we will explore how to approach conflict with emotional mastery and strategic wisdom, drawing from ancient teachings, philosophical practices, and modern wisdom to help you rise above the chaos without losing your center. If this shifted something inside you, hit like and subscribe. We do this every day. Zrenia, Section 1, The Nature of Conflict. Conflict is an inevitable part of life. It arises from differing perspectives, goals, and emotions. At its core, conflict is a clash between two forces, whether they are ideas, values, or power dynamics. The more we understand the nature of conflict, the better equipped we are to handle it with grace and strategic intelligence. The law of polarity teaches us that everything in the universe has an opposite. Light and dark, good and evil, love and hate, all are interconnected. In relationships and social dynamics, conflict often arises from these polarities, whether between our own beliefs and those of others, or between our desires and the desires of those around us. At its most basic level, conflict is about control of thoughts, feelings, and actions. One person wants to assert their perspective, their needs, or their way of doing things, while another resists. But conflict does not have to result in destruction, resentment, or damage to relationships. In fact, conflict can be a powerful opportunity for growth and understanding if handled with the right tools and mindset. Section 2. Emotional Mastery and Conflict. When emotions are high, logic is often low. This is one of the core challenges in navigating conflict. Our emotional responses can cloud our judgment, escalate the situation, and prevent us from reaching a constructive resolution. The key to handling conflict with wisdom is emotional mastery, the ability to stay calm, detached, and centered, no matter the circumstances. The Stoics are masters of emotional control. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, repeatedly advises himself to maintain composure in the face of adversity. He writes, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injustice." Stoic philosophy teaches us that while we cannot control the actions of others, we can control our reactions. We can choose how we respond to external events, especially in moments of emotional tension. The Stoic practice of mindful detachment allows us to step back from the emotional triggers of a conflict. Rather than reacting impulsively, we can pause, reflect, and choose a response that aligns with our higher principles. This detachment is not about becoming cold or indifferent, but about observing the situation without becoming emotionally entangled in it. One powerful Stoic technique is negative visualization, imagining the worst-case scenario in a conflict before it even happens. This allows us to detach from the fear of the unknown and approach the situation with a sense of calm acceptance, knowing that we can handle whatever comes our way. Section 3. The Power of Detachment in Conflict. In conflict, detachment does not mean disengaging or withdrawing completely. Instead, it means releasing the need to control the outcome and protecting your inner peace. Buddhism teaches the concept of non-attachment, the understanding that our happiness does not depend on external events or the behavior of others. When we can detach from the need to win an argument or get our way, we free ourselves from the anxiety and stress that often accompany conflict. Taoist principles of Wu Wei, the concept of non-action or effortless action, also apply to conflict. Wu Wei is the idea of flowing with the current of life, rather than struggling against it. In relationships and arguments, Wu Wei teaches us to move in harmony with the situation, responding naturally without forcing or pushing. Instead of trying to win or dominate the conflict, we can focus on listening, understanding, and finding a balanced resolution. This doesn't mean avoiding conflict altogether, it means engaging with it in a way that preserves our peace and integrity. Detachment allows us to participate in the conversation without becoming consumed by the emotions of the moment. We stay grounded, respond with clarity, and avoid reacting out of anger or fear. Section 4. The Art of Strategic Wisdom in Conflict. In The Art of War, Sun Tzu famously wrote, "Know yourself and know your enemy, and in 100 battles, you will never be in peril." This ancient wisdom is crucial in understanding how to approach conflict from a strategic perspective. Conflict is not simply about being right or winning, it's about understanding the dynamics at play and using wisdom to guide the interaction. Power dynamics are at the heart of many conflicts. Understanding the forces of control and influence that are at play can provide valuable insight into how to navigate the situation. Ask yourself, what does the other person want? What are their goals, their fears, their insecurities? By understanding their perspective, you gain an advantage in how you respond. The power in conflict often lies in how much control we have over the narrative and the interaction. The Taoist principle of Wu Wei can also guide our strategy in conflict. Wu Wei is about flowing with the situation, adapting to what is happening, and responding in a way that doesn't create unnecessary resistance. In the context of conflict, this means avoiding direct confrontation and forceful responses. Instead, use the power of patience, listening, and reflection to guide the conversation toward a peaceful resolution. In high-stakes conflicts, it's essential to avoid emotional manipulation and instead focus on clear, thoughtful communication. Use calmness as your weapon and never respond to aggression with aggression. By maintaining your composure, you maintain the high ground in any social or power dynamic. Section 5. Dealing with betrayal and misunderstandings. Betrayal can be one of the most difficult forms of conflict to navigate. Whether in personal relationships, work, or friendship, betrayal shakes our trust and challenges our emotional stability. However, emotional detachment and strategic wisdom can guide us through even the most painful situations. In moments of betrayal, it's important to pause and not react immediately. Give yourself the space to process your emotions, understand your own feelings of hurt or anger, and choose a response that aligns with your higher values. Betrayal often comes from another person's fear, insecurity, or self-interest, but how we choose to respond defines our character. The law of polarity teaches us that everything has an opposite. Just as light and dark coexist, so do loyalty and betrayal. When we experience betrayal, it is an opportunity for growth, both in understanding the other person's motives and in strengthening our ability to handle emotional pain with grace. Instead of allowing betrayal to control us, we can use it as a chance to deepen our understanding of human nature and to refine our emotional resilience. Section 6. Navigating power plays in social dynamics. In any group or social setting, power dynamics are at play. Whether we're dealing with a boss, a colleague, a friend, or a family member, there are always unspoken currents of influence, control, and status. Understanding these dynamics is key to navigating conflict with wisdom. The Stoics taught us to maintain equanimity, the ability to remain balanced and composed no matter the situation. In the midst of power struggles, maintaining your center is essential. Instead of getting pulled into games of manipulation, we can stay focused on our own values, maintain healthy boundaries, and avoid getting caught up in control battles. The law of polarity also applies here. Understanding the forces of control, dominance, and submission in social interactions can help us navigate these dynamics with strategy. Instead of reacting to attempts at manipulation or control, we can use the principles of patience, understanding, and wisdom to navigate the situation with grace. Closing thoughts. Conflict is inevitable in our lives, but it doesn't have to define us. By embracing emotional mastery, detachment, and strategic wisdom, we can face any argument, betrayal, or power struggle with clarity and grace. We can maintain our inner peace and navigate social dynamics without losing our center. Remember, the true power in conflict lies not in winning the argument, but in staying calm, strategic, and in control of our own responses. By mastering the art of emotional self-control and understanding the deeper currents of power and influence, we can turn any conflict into an opportunity for growth, wisdom, and inner strength. If this shifted something inside you, hit like and subscribe. We do this every day.